Hello everyone, today we are going to learn different selection processes in 3ds Max and move, rotate, scale tools. This is a small scene where different objects are there. We are going to select them in different ways. So first one, this is the select object tool. Q is the shortcut. Even if you have selected some other tool and you press Q, you can select this tool. And here you will find different ways of selection. First one is rectangle selection. Next is circular selection. After that I have fence selection. If you have complex models, you can select like this. Next I have lasso selection. You can just click and drag and you can select like this. After that, the spray selection is there. You can spray on the object and you can select them. Just beside this select object, before that, by default we use rectangular selection only. So keep it in this rectangular selection. After the select object tool, we have select by name tool. If you click on this, you can select objects like last day we have done this C extension, group, single seater, the single seaters. So if I select this single seater and press OK, I can select this sofa. So for that, naming is very much important. You must do naming of every object. Apart from this, I have this display geometry, shapes, lights, camera. Separately we can select them and select from here only. Suppose only geometry I want to select, I can select this geometry and it will display only geometries. Similarly, if I switch off everything and I keep light, if I have any light in the scene, it will show me only lights. Similarly, camera, groups, etc. Okay, so like that we can do selection. Here also we can do some selection filter. With this I can select only geometry to select. So even if I have lights and shapes and cameras, I can only select geometries. If I select lights, it will select only lights, though I don't have any light in this scene. See, it is not selecting this geometries. If I select all or geometry, it will select the geometry. By default it is all, keep it in this all. Next is move tool. So whatever the thing you have selected, you can move it. We can move it like this. This is the gizmo. So if I drag it with this X axis, I can move it towards positive X and negative X. Y axis, I can move it at negative Y and positive Y. If I click on this corner, you can see this is the yellowish, now it is becoming yellow. I can move it anywhere on this XY plane. If I press Alt W and go to this view, I can see this Z axis also, which is the up axis. I can move it up or down. So this was the move tool. Next is, move tool shortcut is W. Next is rotate tool, shortcut is E. When I'm using this rotate tool, I can see this gizmo again. Here, this is the Z axis I'm rotating. Next, this is the X axis, red axis is X axis. I can rotate it at X axis. And this is the Y axis, I can rotate it at Y axis. So it will be easier to work if you are using snap toggle, align and snap. Right click on it and you can give this angle to 90 or whatever the direction, whatever the radius you want, you can put. So I can just rotate it like this. Whichever the direction I will rotate, it will rotate at 90 degree only. Okay. Next I have this scale tool. With this scale tool also I can see this X, Y and Z gizmo. If I drag with this X, it's like this. Y axis like this. Z axis like this. Press undo. And this is at the center. If I click and drag, it will give me uniform scaling. Uniform scaling means it will scale X, Y and Z same amount. It will increase or decrease the scale. Next I have this select and place tool. If I select this object, suppose I select this object and I want to keep it on top of this table, and if I move it, it will go and it will place itself like this one. It actually takes this center as base and places on the object you want to place. If I right click on this, select and place, here you will see by default this Z is selected, positive Z. So these objects are placing itself on this plane. Okay. So if I for this object, its base, its gizmo is not at the base. So I can select this use base as pivot and I can move it up here. It is placed properly. I can select this auto parent option. I just move. Now if I select this auto parent option and move and place them here, then if I move the table somewhere, this objects become, this table is the parent of this objects. Now wherever my table is moving, these objects are also moving along with that. Okay, I hope all these selection options you have understood. Today's class is this much only. Okay, thank you for watching.